Hi everyone, my name is Quester. Welcome to the 8th episode of my unofficial program, Guild Wars for all levels for the game Gems of War. For today's episode, we're going to discuss an introduction to Guild War defenses. To win Guild Wars, your guild needs to score more points than the opposing guild. There are two ways to do this. First, you must have a solid attack plan where you score as many points as you can during offense. As you see, it's just Monday, battle start on day 1, which is tomorrow. And second, you must have a solid defense where you can cause your opponent to lose troops and possibly lose the round. This makes them score less than you. During the past episodes, we mainly have been focusing on attack teams. So now we're going to focus on defense. This will be a short episode. It's just an introductory episode on Guild War defenses. For future episodes, we'll be delving on defenses against specific colors, like what to do on Yellow Day. But right now, we'll only go through the basics. So let's get started. Let's set up our defenses for the week. As you see, this is already set up. On Blue Day, I have versus Blue. Yellow Day versus Yellow. I set my defenses already up for every specific day. So versus Green on Green Day, versus Purple, and versus Brown. Okay. Now, what have you noticed? Well, as you see, we can use troops of any color regardless of the color for that day. So here we have your Yali. Your Yali is green, blue, yellow. Okay, so on blue color day, she actually has the blue color, but Scorpius doesn't. Scorpius is purple, yellow, brown, and on blue day, he does not need to have that color. So as long as they have synergy, you can use any color. So your opponents have to use colored teams to gain bonuses. As a defense, you're not restricted to a certain color. That's the advantage you have against them, and arguably the only advantage you have playing defense. There are more disadvantages when playing defense. Let's enumerate them. The first disadvantage is that you cannot use duplicate troops unless you're willing to lose bonus points. As you see right here, we have Scion. Scion is not used twice in this team. It's not used also in other teams for the week. Scion's only used once. I get a bonus point. I get maximum bonus points for this because I only use him once. So as you see, for this week, we get 2,000. For this day, we get 2,000 bonus points for using 4 different troops. And for the entire week, we use 24 different troops, so we get 12,000 bonus points. So those points are given to you automatically as long as you don't use duplicate troops. So when you start Guild Wars and you attack, you get those bonus points applied to you right away on your first match. Okay, another disadvantage is the AI is going to play your team for you. And we all know that artificial intelligence is limited. So, for example, let's go to defenders. Say I'm gonna use the defense team I often use, and we're gonna test it. And as you see, the AI is gonna play it differently than we do. So you're stuck to what the AI chooses. You have no control on how it's gonna defend. And the only thing is you could just try to anticipate what the AI is gonna do for your team on defense. And as you see, I have my defenses this way because it's easy for the AI to manipulate. It does not require special instructions. It does what it does. So let's exit out of this. Okay. Another major disadvantage is that you cannot see the match as it is played. You can't see what team the enemy is using and what strategies they employ. You are left to guessing what kind of teams they may be playing. So again, when we go to test our defenses and you play, you know, you can't see their team. They can see you, they can see your defenses, but you can't see them. You can't see how they play. So, you know, you don't learn from the enemy that way. And yes, that's a major disadvantage. Another thing is the attacking player can use multiple attack teams. They will choose cards that counter your defenses. There's nothing you can do about it because once the day is set, you cannot change your defenses. So, as you see, say this is my defense team. Of course, they're all duplicates. I wouldn't use this normally on Guild War defense, but on regular defense is fine. So as you see, I can change my team here to go against them, and say I would choose this team. Against this team, I can counter pick. I was like wondering what's good against plague. So I can change my teams, but the enemy team, but your team, by the way, your defense team is stuck. So because of these disadvantages, you can expect that your defenses are going to lose more on average than win. If you have a 1-to-1 win-lose ratio, that's actually a good day. So for the day, if you made 5 wins and 5 losses, that's actually good. Regardless, you want to win on defense as many times as you can because at times it may be the factor in determining who wins the day. So let's talk about the characteristics of a solid defense team. The teams that I will show you are not meant to be colored, not meant to counter a specific color, but they are good on any day for the most part. So these are some popular PvP teams that you will also see used in Guild War defense teams. This is a mana drain team. As Scion, Famine, Spirit Fox, they all drain mana. Possibly the strongest defense team out there. Here's a Justice team, also a common defense team. It has the core trio of Valkyrie, Justice, Queen Mab, and then any troop on the front. Could be Corvash or Kraken. And here we're using Bone Dragon to maximize freeze. And then right here we have Goblins. Goblins can be very annoying once they get started. And then this one we have the meta for back then, when before it was nerfed. This team was used a lot. It used to be Forest Troll, Kraken, Sea Troll for Kraken, and then Queen Mab. Yes, this team was used a lot back then. And as you've noticed, these teams are good for PvP, and the reason they're good is they do not need complicated instructions. The AI can use them on autopilot. So if you can make a team that does not need to be directed manually to win, then it's a good defense team. So that's it for now. For today's episode, I will delve more on defenses against specific colors, like what are good defense teams to use for Blue Day, for example. But before I go, I want to leave you a tip. So let's check out Guild Wars, and as you see, I'm a champion. This is good for me because I'll be able to test my defense teams if they're working or not, because most of the enemy is gonna go by me. So the defenses, okay, So what I wanted to say is you want to use your best defenses against your hardest rivals. Oftentimes, the difference between a victory and a loss is by a small margin when you're up against tough competition. For example, this week, we're up against Gra on Yellow Day. So the Guild of Gra, they're often toe-to-toe against us. So we want to make sure that they are always going to be on second place. So I'm going to put in like my best defense team for this day. So far I have this team against them. That may change because I want to make sure that I have the best defense against them. So it's important we win even if the difference is just a couple hundreds of points. So it could be just a couple hundred of points, and we'll see. For last week, the difference between us and Gra is 50,000, but sometimes that margin is even less. It could be just a few thousand points. So you want to use your best defenses against your hardest rivals. Okay, thank you again for tuning in for today's episode of Guild Wars for all levels for the game Gems of War. For next episode, we will highlight a troop that was suggested by one of my viewers. So see you again. Hope you keep tuning in. Have a good day. Later.